Vitya Diaries Chapter 26. Power Move. The weekend after Coach and I got back from Japan, Yorgi made his senior debut at Skate Canada in some place called Mississauga. I caught most of his skates through replays at the rink after practice with Sasha. Even though I didn't need the extra help, Coach thought it would be a good to have Sasha stand in for him while he was gone. Yorgi's doing well, Sasha said between bites of protein bar. He'd insisted on breaking for snack time, though I was pretty sure it had less to do with babysitting me, and more to do with him being a bottomless pit. Coach knows what he's doing. Yeah. My gaze dropped from the screen with Yorgi's face to my half-eaten granola, dry and tasteless. I wasn't hungry. Beneath the little cafeteria table, Mokyuchin's tail wagged with a quiet thump, thump, thump. I know. You'll have to talk to Yorgi again one of these days. You know, Coach doesn't like his skaters to fight. I laughed, says the one who hates everyone. He gave a long and world-weary sigh. Okay, since you seem to have brain damage, let's finish up snack time and get back to the rink. We need to do some drills to make sure you have the basics down. What? Exactly. We'll start with swizzles. Come on your feet, Viktor. Me, he made me do drills for an hour. Me, my legs hurt so bad. Why are drills hard? Me, no but yes. Me, I work out a lot but even my calves have limits. Why? Isn't he supposed to be really good, though? Why? I'm pretty sure getting trained by the current champion will just make you a better skater, Miska. Me, PFFFT please. Me, I'm already better than Sasha, Nico. He was just standing there while I did all the skating. Why? I want to see you kick his ass. Me, that can be arranged. Why? Only if there's blood. Why? You have 2 weeks, Miska. Right, 2 weeks. Forget about Sasha and Yorgi, rivals and betrayal. In 2 weeks, my boyfriend would be back in St. Petersburg, my kingdom. A prince for the princess. Spending time together, getting cozy. Maybe I'd even show him my room. Was that too much? I'd see Nico's room. But that was different. My room was my room. But we didn't have anywhere else for privacy. Where did other couples go for kissing and snuggling and other things? Yorgi would know. He knew everything about dating, even if a lot of his advice had been kind of useless. At least he would be able to listen and help me figure it out. Why, Miska, where did you go? Why, it's been 20 minutes. Why, I want you to tell me how you want me to kiss you. Now, more than ever, I really missed having Yorgi to talk to. He did well, though, taking silver in Ontario. Between that, my golds in the junior division, and Sasha's inevitable wins, things were looking very good for Russia this season. Me, hey Yorgi, congrats. Me, I watched you skate. You're doing a lot better. Me, you better watch out next year because I'm not gonna let you slack off. Me, can we talk? I typed out each congratulatory text 2 or 3 times, but chickened out before sending any of them. It was still too soon and I had no idea what to say. Besides, it seemed like he was doing just fine without me. I needed to focus on my own career, not get hung up on him. There wasn't time and I didn't have the energy, not with the wolves in tutus around every corner at my very school. At the tail end of October, Lenka came to me after character with a big grin, slipping an arm around my shoulders. Hey, Vitya, are you doing anything tonight? Please say no. No, I'm not doing anything. Or no, I'm not interested. Acting was fun, and I was pretty good at it, but it always put me in a kind of mood, especially around Lenka, who hadn't forgiven me for the Nutcracker. Auditions were wrapping up with rehearsal schedules to be posted as soon as Monday. Lenka had tried out. I hadn't. It wasn't like I hadn't considered. I just never had the time. Vitya. She leaned in to whisper against my neck, which wasn't at all like when Rafe or Nico did it. Just prickly and awkward. You remember where Megami's room is, right? I nodded. Yeah, I remember. International students were grouped together in the dorm so that the administration could slip them in and out of the academy without disrupting the rest of us. Iron Curtain or not, Vaganova had earned its prestigious reputation with strict adherence to Russian traditions by disciplined Russian teachers who taught talented Russian dancers. The foreigners were merely an exception to the rule. The foreigners were also some of the more fun and interesting of my classmates, so having them easy to find was nicely convenient. They were the ones that wanted to go to the movies and talk about things beside Russia and dancing. They knew there was more to the world. Be there at 7. We're having a secret Halloween party in the common room of her floor because they have the biggest space. We're doing what? Just come, Vitya, please. It'll be fun. Bring Mokyuchin and your camera, please. I did, but only to show Mokyuchin off, and maybe because it was an excuse to keep my mind off of Yorgi for a while. Look. You Russians don't know what you're missing. Abby passed out the candy while Lenka divvied up supplies. Construction paper, scissors, glue, colored pencils. Halloween is the best holiday of the year. Don't let the madams hear you say that, or you'll be dismissed for sure. Oh please, like any of them really care. It's not banned in St. Petersburg. Besides, Halloween is just like New Year's. But evil, it's nothing like New Year's. It is, too. The costumes, the candy, Baba Yaga, who, the witch. I tried not to laugh. Yorgi, the only witch I knew, had ranted about Halloween to me lots of times before. He would have loved it if not for the spooky atmosphere. Then definitely for all of the girls. There were 7 of us, plus Mokyuchin, piled around the sofa and armchair and floor, soon wearing handmade masks so we could watch the scary American movies that our transplants had smuggled in. We took turns with my camera which was a hit and ate way too much candy. None for Mokyu, though, and only some for me. Come on, Vitya. Calories don't count on Halloween. My rink mate told me that was a capitalist lie. Mokyu and I were the only boys, but no one seemed to mind. In fact, it seemed like it had been by design. Lenka's friend, Sveta, spent the night braiding my hair. Payback, I guessed. The other girls were jealous. It was relaxing, and since I'd already seen Hocus Pocus, I was able to help translate and give trivia, which they were all impressed by. How do you know so much, Vitya? He's an international skating star, world-traveled, well-read, so cultured. I blushed. but just a little. If you think I'm good, you should meet my rink mate, Georgi Popovich. Oh, the new senior. I didn't want to lose fans, but it was at least nice to have them fawning over him for a while. It made me feel better. Anyway, for a lot of reasons. November began with a storm, cold rain and gloomy skies. I took Mokyuchin out every morning, no matter the weather, and shivered in the dark while he relieved himself. I wasn't looking forward to taking him out in several feet of snow come winter. What were we supposed to do during a blizzard? He couldn't go inside the academy, but that was weeks away. Autumn was fading, taking the color from the trees and the warmth of the sun, but there were cascades of orange and yellow leaves still waiting to fall, and still so much to do before then. It was getting harder and harder to find anything good to add to my photo pile that wasn't just gloomy. Class was boring. Homework was boring, practice was boring, even skating was boring. Everything a meticulous monotony of drills and rehearsals, over and over again to meet the demands of perfection, until it's second nature. The madams barked, so you don't even have to think about it. Coach yelled. I wasn't so good at routine when it got like this. If I wasn't thinking, I wasn't focused, which meant I wasn't concentrating, and I wasn't actually learning anything. Thankfully, Mokyuchin kept me on schedule, and daydreaming filled the gaps. Without that, I'd have been absolutely hopeless. It was a rut. I could only take it for so long. I missed the summer. I missed competition. I made a list of places to take Nico for his visit by pouring through summer memories, switching Georgi out for my boyfriend. It was easy to imagine romantic scenarios that way. The movies, holding hands, a walk along the canal, dancing together in a humid garage with the rain drumming on the roof and the stereo playing loud enough to hiss with the high notes. Did Nico dance? Could I teach him? I didn't want much in a man, really, but that was something I needed. Someone to hold me close, to move with me through the steps with confidence. A partner. That's all I needed. I'd have to find out. Why? Tomorrow, Miska. Me. Tomorrow smiles. Just like their trip in the summer. Nico was kept pretty busy by Tetya Olya's schedule. Unlike before, though, Nico kept texting me throughout the day to say how much he missed me and how much he'd rather be with me. There was nothing about this that I didn't like, especially since I couldn't afford to miss class, but having someone wanting me to skip was just as good. When I finally got free, Mokyuchin and I met up with Nico at the station near Vaganova to go to the rink. I was hoping I could see your dorm room. Nico stood close to me on the bus, muttering in my ear. How long is this going to take? I still have to practice, Nico. You being here doesn't change that. I sighed, then added before he could continue. It should only take an hour or so. Nico groaned. Mokyuchin looked up at him, sniffing. Sasha was already doing warm-ups when we got there, but stopped to frown. Who is this? This is Nico, my friend. He's here to watch. Is he going to distract you? Coach doesn't like visitors. Strange. I don't see Coach, do you? I turned to Nico. Come on. You can sit here on the bench with Mokyu. It's a good place to watch the action. Nico sat, brows creased. Okay, make sure to pay attention. With one final wink, I went for the barrier and pulled off the guards, and stepped out to the ice. Nico didn't usually watch skating. It wasn't his thing. I needed to do some impressive maneuvers if I wanted to keep his interest. I kept my strides long and lean, gliding out to the center. I wasn't wearing my Mistress of the Mountain costume, but that didn't mean that I didn't have the moves. I could be just as seductive, even in my black trainers. Sasha put me through my paces, which I did with expert precision and flair. The extra practice paid off. It wasn't hard to do everything Sasha asked, anticipating his requests, leaping, twisting, turning, sliding, and lunging at any given moment. I hoped Nico liked it. After landing an impressive triple flip, I let myself check his reaction, only to find that he wasn't looking at all. Head bowed. He almost looked asleep. Victor, get back here. We're in the middle of running through your program. So much for that. Nico looked up as I approached, startled, and I saw that he hadn't been sleeping, he'd been reading. He wasn't watching me at all. I must not have cleared the disappointment from my face quickly enough, either, because he was searching the ceiling for an explanation. Miska, are you bored? I thought you wanted to watch me. I do. That's not it. This is just the new book in the series, and, what? I leaned against the barrier. What is it? The ice was silent, Sasha watching, waiting. Nico's nervous gaze shifted between us and he shrugged. I guess I just don't see what's so impressive. It looks easy. Behind me, Sasha snorted. I gaped. Easy? Well, yeah, you're just, dancing around on the ice. My sister does it all the time. Not everyone can compete. It's an entirely different level. Another shrug. Nico went back to his book. It just doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Huh. Sasha came to my side with a spray of ice and a laugh. Sounds to me like he knows what he's talking about, Victor. It sounded like anything but that, really, but Sasha's smirk had me holding my tongue for a moment. Anyway, frowning, folded my arms while my rink mate reached over the barrier and snatched the book out of Nico's hands. Hey, anyway, he's right. It's no fun to sit here on the bench while you're doing all of the skating. Sasha moved around me and left the ice, taking up his guards in the process. Come on, kid, let's get some skates for you. I'm dying to see your moves. Nico was not happy about it, but Sasha wasn't someone that could be argued with. They returned a few minutes later, Sasha all too pleased with himself and Nico in a pair of rental skates looking like a frightened baby deer. It was adorable. On the ice, Sasha pushed him toward me and, stiff-legged, he slid over with wide eyes full of fear. I went to his rescue, all of my anger dissolving with the effort of trying to hold back laughter. Here you go, Victor. Teach your friend something. I took Nico's arms and set him straight, helping him into a more natural pose, and he grasped onto me as soon as he started to slide away again. Me Miska. Nico, calm down. My hand felt for his and he grabbed it, squeezing hard to pull himself close, other hand coming to my hip. Hey now, I laughed. Your paws aren't supposed to get greedy until we're alone. He blushed hard and frowned. I don't want to fall. Don't worry, I've got you. Even though it felt a bit like skating with a big piece of driftwood, my skill more than made up for it. I had plenty of practice dancing with dumb boys on and off the ice, and I was comfortable with Nico. This was my territory. His hands in mine, I led him around the rink, guiding him through the basics to get him moving. Miska. His voice came out in a whimper. You're strong. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Well, yeah, Nico. I have to be. You should know this by now. I let go of one of his hands and spun him out, keeping him steady through every movement. His expression was priceless, eyes wide and desperately searching mine, totally helpless and at my mercy. I think he liked it. Honestly, so did I. Maybe being in the lead sometimes wasn't so bad. Too bad they don't allow same-sex pair skating. Sasha laughed. You wouldn't win anything, but it'd be entertaining. Nico yanked his hand from mine, wobbling from how hard he was shaking his head. That's stupid. Sasha rolled his eyes, and I rolled mine right along with him. Yeah. No thanks. I'm all about the gold. Sasha, is that so? I couldn't tell with how distracted you've been. I scuffed the ice with my toe pick. Right. Let's go through my routine, then. Here we go. Watch out, Nico. Huh? He couldn't escape it now. Trapped on the ice. He had no choice but to watch my program. I didn't need my costume or music to make the meaning clear. My figure did the work, as designed. After all, the mistress of the mountain could take any shape she pleased to capture her prey, and my song was so deceptively sweet, lulling the man into a false sense of safety. There he stood, trapped in the landslide, boot caught between boulders. Try as he might, the traveler couldn't wrench his foot free, alone in the mountains. He was so exposed. Would he be killed by wolves? Die from exposure? Starvation? Frustration turned to relief when the lady approached. Every step precise and delicate, almost as if she wasn't stepping on the stones at all. Disturbing nothing. Floating. A figure in black with a sweet smile and eyes like the crystals that dot her form. She was ethereal. Not human. Not even animal, but a demon. A temptress. Something wicked. She moved like a stream, winding through the rocks on an invisible path, dancing in a way that makes him numb. He didn't even struggle when she came close, nor when she bent to let her vipers free. They slithered down her arms and coiled around his neck. When she lowered to meet him, he knew she could kill him. She didn't, but she could, even though it was well within her power and she'd done it before. This one she wanted to keep for herself. This one. I think that's enough, Viktor. Sasha broke the spell with a laugh. He's going to cream himself. Oh my god. Get a room. Neither of us had any complaints about cutting practice short. Nico kissed me in the locker room and again in the bathroom stall. I had Mokyuchin sit between us in the cab, which Nico insisted on taking to the hotel because he just couldn't wait. He didn't have his own room, but Tetya Olya would be gone until that evening. Don't worry, he promised, clapping the security lock in place. No one will come in. There were 2 queen beds, one of them, for the moment, all ours. Greedy pause. Nico. I couldn't stop giggling, giddy from how he was touching me. Arms, waist, thighs, backside. Why are you laughing? You're tickling me. I'm not. He went for my throat, kissing hard. And oh, it was different. Much different. We'd made out before, but he'd never been so needy or excited, and that made me excited. Alone with my boyfriend in a hotel room. So mature, so adult. We were really a couple. Really together. And he wanted me, even though I was different. Even though he had his reservations. Even though no one else would ever get to know. We had this. I laughed harder. Nico. Mokyu's watching. We both looked at the corner of the room, where Mokyuchin had made himself comfortable on the sofa. He wasn't actually watching, but it was still kind of embarrassing. I can't help it, and he's just a dog. Nico's hands were trembling again, almost like they had been on the ice. Something like fear, probably more desperation. I need you, Miska. He's not just a dog. Oh my god, how dare you? Laughing, I batted his hands away and pushed him until he was sitting on the bed and I was sitting on his lap, so I could have control again. That was better. There, you have me. Happy? Nico let out a frustrated groan, arms snaking around my back and slithering down to my pockets, like vipers. Miska. Oh, calm down. I gave him a little peck. See? This is nice. Just you and me. Comfy. Close. It's a start. Come on. We only have 4 hours. Let's not waste it. Show me what these figure skating ballerina legs can do on a mattress.